So, we know about the Stanley Parable. It was an amazing game that came out years ago, followed up with a kind of sequel. Got taken on all these amazing adventures by the narrator. Looking through all the games I could play online, I found this one, the Stanley prequel. Now, let's take a look at this real fast. Have you ever wondered what Stanley's life was like when he was happy? No. Of course not. That's a ridiculous question, but after critical and commercial success of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, fans were left wondering what was next. Surely they can't keep releasing the same game over and over again with a different coat of paint each time, could they? No. The future of Stanley had to be something fresh, something just as daring and groundbreaking as the original Stanley Parable was back in 2013. But where could the things possibly go? With the new content added to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, all the burning questions that were the original 2013 release had left fans with had been answered. All the loose ends tied up, finally bringing the satisfying and definitive conclusion to Stanley Parable. But of course, the answer was so obvious. The only way to go forward was to go backwards. And so, it was with much pleasure that I present to you the Stanley prequel. The Stanley prequel? Maybe something flashier like the Stanley Parable Origins. Well, we can figure out that name later. Stanley prequel finally gives fans a chance to know what it's really like to be Stanley. Both the original Stanley Parable and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe start their stories at an extremely difficult time for Stanley, having just had his quiet, peaceful life shattered as he faces the greatest uncertainties ever known. And although Stanley's life is up to this point is portrayed as dull, lacking in any meaningful choices, and not fit to be a video game, this is the integral part of understanding Stanley as a character. For after all, how can we really know Stanley when we've ever only known him in a time of great distress, without knowing what exactly it is that makes him happy? So this is basically his life prior to the narrator getting involved. This is not a game by Crows. It's merely okay. You know that Parable is also Unity. Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, employee number 427 instructional prompt. Please press G on your keyboard for 47 minutes. Please press the left bracket on your keyboard for 20 minutes. Let's see, down arrow. C X H O. Is it over? No, okay. Up arrow again. Enter. Q. Up arrow. What does Stanley do? Like, I get that he pushes buttons the whole day, but like, what do these do, like, for the company? Like, he hits K for 87 minutes, then Q for 87 minutes, then C, U. Like, at this point, like, his day should be over. Like, 47, 48, 13, 87, 87, 70. Like, this is like a whole day's of work. Do I go on break? Oh, is it over? No. Okay, comma. T. F. Got the escape button. That'd been a cool feature, like if they had the escape button, you push that and exit out of the game so you clock out for the day. Alright, back to work. V. Semicolon. You know what? I get why Stanley is upset. This is a great, relaxing job. You just come to work and just push buttons and you get to go home. Like, why leave this? Like, why not just do this for the whole game? I, semicolon, Z, A. Surely I got punch out at some point because it's been over days of work. So somebody in the game, before the events happened, would tell Stanley what buttons to push for X amount of time. So he would just sit there just be pushing this for 57 minutes. Period. So if Stanley's just doing letters and brackets and arrows, is there someone else in his office who does numbers? G, U, O, semicolon, K, X, V. Although to be fair, not every letter of the alphabet's being used so far. Got a J. Right bracket. A lot of right brackets. I don't know, this game is pretty, like, just engaging. Like, you learn so much about who Stanley is. Spacebar. That's the first Y we had the whole time here. Did we get a raise? Did they start adding on new letters when we get, like, better at our job? T. Up arrow. What happens if I don't push the right button? Like, any consequence to my actions? No, nothing happens. Whatever. So literally, Stanley can't mess up. Nothing happens. H. S. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna probably just end it on E. Because you know why? I'm pretty sure this game's time I worked for about 2 days straight. But yeah, this is the Stanley prequel. Not officially a prequel, but a prequel. Pretty fun if you want to know what Stanley went through before the narrator ruined all of his fun and took away from all this. Then, you know, check it out. Link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Bye bye.